instructions, Johannes?
Oh, okay, hang on. I'm just gonna disable the audio in game for my microphone.
Radiant team ban.
Oh, the teams? Oh yeah, it's Estraverse Gaming as Radiant and Feedlingai as Dire.
Okay, nice.
I've seen Estraverse Gaming before. I know one of them at least personally, and I watched like a few games of them, and I sort of have a grasp of how they play. They seem to have one disconnected, but that shouldn't be a problem right now. So.
Yeah, well, no one's banning out the Brewmaster yet, so I'm looking for maybe first big brew here.
They're going for, I think they might have watched Estraverse's games, because Feliks is, well, from what I've seen, Feliks's Death Prophet is pretty good, and I don't remember Viper, but he's pretty strong to ban. And Estraverse picked up Brewmaster, which is, yeah, pretty normal if it doesn't get banned. No, that's
Radiant team pick.
Pretty, the high tier heroes gets picked up first, no surprise here.
Faceless Void.
Oh, that's a scary pick with the Faceless Void coming in there. Or what do you think?
Maybe looking for some combo ult as well.
Oh, I think my UI is a little bit in the way. I hope that's not an issue right now.
Radiant team ban.
It's probably fine.
A little bit of variation, as what we are used to see in picks.
Dire team ban.
But it looks like a standard. Yeah, what a Faceless safe and Brewmaster is going a mid. That's what I assume is going to happen right here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Interesting. Well, they have pretty much picked up their course now, Estraverse. So, Feedling, they proceed to ban out the supports, the strongest.
I could be wrong, but I've seen them pick up Treant quite a lot.
Yeah, Treant is a very popular pick this patch, especially in the pro Dota scene. So
yeah,
we might see. Wouldn't it be surprising?
Yeah, strong pick as well. But yeah, a few stats. I'm not sure about Feedlingai, but it's going pretty well for Estraverse right now. If I remember correctly, they won their season Division 3 in Joint Dota with 16-0, as in they won 16 row and didn't drop a single game in their league. Therefore, winning their own league, pretty hard. So they're pretty strong. They moved up the divisions pretty high, and I feel like they have a nice synergy going on.
Okay. So you would consider them the stronger team in this particular matchup, then?
Well, I can't say I'm biased, but I can. But I haven't seen I haven't seen Feedlingai play anything, so that's hard to say. But what I do know is Estraverse is actually very strong, as they are all really good players.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, personally, I know nothing about both of these teams, so it's gonna be surprises for me.
Hang on, give me 1 second.
Reserve time.
I'm going to change.
So it's looking like
a few options here and there. Yeah.
Looking like standard tri lanes. This maybe a Dazzle Skywrath Wraith King lane.
Yeah, that could be really scary.
Invoker, of course, mid. Are we looking towards a Quas Vex Invoker for the control this game? Or maybe are we seeing a Exort Invoker?
Well, at the
they
moment...
have nerfed some parts of the Quas Vex, I know, so some players don't like to play it anymore. What's your thoughts on this?
Hang on, it could very well be an Exort, because Dazzle and Skywrath has a lot of magic damage, and to top that off with Invoker, or maybe they are going Quas Vex, to control them, so Skyref can maybe set up his ulti a little bit better.
Bro, Dazzle is purely physical damage, didn't you know?
Oh shit. Yeah, it is. I forgot completely. But anyway, he's still pretty strong as in terms of giving damage and saving people. So, but
Dire team banned.
my guess is he's going Class Wex and setting up for his team.
Yeah.
If you look at the Estraverse, they have a lot of control, and being able to shove Faceless up in his chrono if Invoker manages to stay out of it, and EMP him while he's still in the chrono as well, if he actually hits it off with the movement speed and all. It's really big, and yeah,
Well,
it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. So
I've got some inside information here that Acid player from Feedlingai is playing. He has recently, he's previously played in a team with Excalibur, the stand-in, the famous E-God from Fnatic.
Reserve time.
well, so
I'm not sure about my sources now.
but if it's true, that's pretty good. I guess he has some experience. That is. So we're looking for an interesting fight if that's come true, because that means his other teammates are of pretty high caliber as well as he.
Yeah.
And considering Excalibur's performances lately, it's nothing to go unheard of or ignore.
Well, maybe you can speak about later. You said you knew the ETG.
Reserve time.
So, which player do you think is gonna play the different heroes?
A Brewmaster, USA is going on the Brewmaster. I think Feliks is taking the Faceless, Rauno on the Yakiro, and Henry on Lion. I'm not sure because they switched the supports around a little bit. I know.
Who is Henry?
Y009. I keep calling him that, but it's Y. It's kind of hard to like. It's a habit, but he's probably I know TheRedSnow and Y009 is a support. USA is a midder.
Oh.
And he's pretty proficient at it.
Well, I just want to point out that Estraverse Gaming just banned our Clockwork. I think that is very smart, because as Feedlingai, I would have really picked up. I would have wanted the Clockwork very much, because then you can cog a couple of guys, and then you put the Skyref Wolf and a Sunstrike, and they completely blow up. So I think it's very smart for them to ban out the Clockwork. They're gonna pick up an Outward Devourer. That's pretty interesting. Are they gonna send him mid then and put dual lanes, or it's a very diverse draft. But so far I'm favoring Estraverse's Gaming more.
10 seconds
The draft,
remaining.
because they have the Brewmaster. I think is so strong, so strong, that hero, especially when played properly. So.
Reserve time.
But I feel what I see from the picks, the both teams looks pretty confident in their picking phase. They don't wait out as much. Yeah, the pick seems pretty confident as in what they are trying to accomplish.
Yeah, but I see a problem with the Feedlingai. They don't have any that many setup spells. Particularly not very many stuns.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
They have like Wraith King stun and Dazzle in the later levels, but it's not a true stun as in maybe like the Lion's stun or the Ice Path or the Faceless Chrono.
Oh,
So I think they have much more control.
I was wrong. Apparently Racer is on USA, and I'm pretty sure he's going mid against Invoker. No?
No. It's a counter pick for the Outward Devourer. They think the OD is gonna go mid, and then Razor, it's a well-known thing that he counters the Outward Devourer. So it looks like it's gonna be a tri-lane bottom with the Brewmaster and the Lion and Jakiro. And Faceless offlane. We have seen that. I've actually seen that from Cloud9 before, and. I think Navi did it as well.
I haven't seen it. How did it go? Is it like I assume as the pro players have done it, it has worked to some extent.
Yes, yes. It is valid. I think it's extra valid now that they nerfed. No, they buffed the mana cost on the time walk. It only costs 90 mana now, so you can spam it. I think it was even 70 mana at one point, but well.
Oh,
It
looks like we're getting a
Too
clash.
strong.
It looks like we might get a smoke clash of some sort.
There's no smokes
They
being
might-
popped yet. I just think they want to get the wards up
Yeah,
in the
they want
jungle.
they want the ward down on top of maybe the medium and easy camp, but they don't seem to have any options to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
See here.
One thing now, Estraverse gaming, they must have seen the wards being placed, so we might be looking at a early D ward on that. So
Yeah, hopefully. They
Yeah.
will. But
hopefully biased Kiwi. Oh, you. Well,
looks like-
Trilin versus Trilin.
Yeah,
I
the
think we're
Invoker's
gonna have
solo.
to keep our eyes peeled on bottom lane.
yeah, it might happen something on top as well because apparently Invoker is going. Yeah.
Oh,
That
look
was-
at mid, look at mid. Early static link coming out from the Razor, controlling the lane pretty good.
Getting some early dominance. What Razor is good for a mid, usually.
So I think it's gonna be a pretty
Oh, they're might.
a power struggle in the middle.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of power struggling on bottom as well. They're very,
Yeah.
they're on top of each other quite a lot.
Whose
and-
lane are you favoring the most?
At the moment,
Trilin from Feedling or Estraverse?
At the moment, I think Estraverse has a little bit of an upper hand, but I don't know really because it can change really fast. They have a lot of damage on top of each other, both of the teams.
Well, my analysis says that Estraverse Gaming, they have these huge AoE nukes like the Brewmaster Thunderclap, and they have Earth Spike and Ice Path, which are both AoE stuns.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wraith King only has a single target stun. That's pretty weak.
Yeah, you have to choose carefully who you stun.
Yeah. But though, still, the biggest strength that Feedlingai have in the tri lane, I think, is they have the Dazzle, which can keep them alive. But that's not what you want from an aggressive tri lane, isn't it? You
No.
want to be able to shut down the enemy carry. But they only have... The biggest strength is defensive capabilities.
What I think now it's pretty balanced. But if Yakuri can get in an ice path pretty easily, or if his lands a really good ice path, they practically won the lane. And since the thunderclap hits, and it's not easy
Yeah,
to
well,
get.
but are you sure they're gonna get a kill from that? Because...
Yeah, that's what could say potentially. Yeah, so that's also correct. And that's why it's so hard to analyze because as you see, it's pretty balanced at the moment. It's a little bit a tug of war back and forth right now. And they know they had a center there, and they're just gonna kill it. How's Invoker doing? Yeah, Invoker and Faceless is staying on top of each other. They're having basically the same.
Look at this mid, man. The Razor has 11 and 8 last hits, and the
Yeah,
nice.
12 now. Yeah.
Well, while the OD only have 5-0, so it's completely dominating this counter pick. It was a very smart choice.
And as I said before, I've seen you say before, and he's a really good midder, and he knows what he knows what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his brain in the game. So, yeah. Biased.
Well done. Yeah. Not at all biased, but I actually favor. Look at this. The offlane Faceless has better last hits than the Evoker as well.
Yeah, and Invoker is so dependent on getting levels, and the farm as well. Well, not so much the farm, but more as levels to get the stats up. It seems like a little bit of damage taken, but they seem to have traded evenly since he dived into the creep wave. And Rauno jumps on top of Invoker to trade back, but it seems
it's a
to.
fight on bottom.
Oh.
It's a stun up on Lion. but he instantly earth spikes, so he can
a
get
nice
out.
ice path.
A nice ice path hits 3 people. I don't think they're gonna get a kill out of this. Dazzle still holds on to his shallow grave. Here it comes. Oh look, it's a first blood for Feedling. I don't think it's gonna be. Ah, here comes the kill on the Dazzle. Nice thunderclap. Oh, it's a pretty big magic stick patient play there from Feliks.
Yeah, that was really neat actually.
Yeah, but
they
the
traded.
blood still goes to the Feedling, so that's pretty good for them.
Yeah, but they traded evening kills, and Faceless and Razor has still farmed away, and they're pulling ahead now on the last hits. If you look at the charge,
Yep.
And as well,
Well,
yeah, pretty. I think it's pretty balanced right now. Yeah, there's
I'd
not
say
much
it's
difference.
very even because basically Estraverse Gaming is winning top, they're winning mid, but I'd say they are losing bottom because their supports are lower level than the Feedling, and they just gave up first blood. So I don't know really, but keep in mind that the Faceless Void winning offlane, I think that's gonna make a huge difference in this game. I don't think this Invoker is gonna do much with that little farm as well. But though,
Yeah,
that's
let's just see how the game pans out as we
Denied.
we saw before the last game we casted.
I'm just trying to predict what's going on here, but
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, still, but it's and
look
out.
at this last hits on the Razor, man.
Yeah, look at Outworld as well. So Outworld is getting a little bit of ahead, but he's
No, he's not getting it.
yeah, no, he's getting some last hits now, but he has a low HP and lost most of his HP and doesn't have much mana. So it's going in the favor for mid and top. Oh, and 009 Yakuri is rotating top and he's taking a little bit of damage from a lot of damage from the cool
You gotta
snap.
commit
But
the Chronosphere on this. I don't think it's gonna be enough.
it's going to be like a trade. Oh yeah, they get the
look at
kill.
that.
They get the kill, but it was
Actually rotated the Lion as well.
yeah, but it was a lot of commitment to that, and that leaves Feliks Brewmaster alone on the bottom lane, which potentially could have happened something to him. But as Brewmaster, he's pretty fat, and it's not
Yeah, well,
that easy to kill a
he
Brewmaster.
He is behind the tower, so I think it's fine for him. But
Yeah, and Brewmaster is pretty fat. It's pretty hard to kill him in the beginning. Oh, looks
yeah,
like
he's got 2 points in the Drunken Brawler, which makes him a little bit less susceptible to the right clicks. I think it's pretty good though that he gets the solo XP, because the Primal Split timing is going to be, if they can use it well, it's going to be a big difference here in the early game, I think.
yeah, they might go for some big push in middle with it and
Yeah.
clean them up as well.
Overall, any action, any
sorry.
rotation they do with a Primal Split is gonna be very strong, I think.
Getting a bit of a rest, Galaxter.
Yep.
It seems like
Look at
Invoker is going for Quas 6, sorry.
Razor is denying so good and so perfectly that he's a full level ahead of the Outward Devourer now.
Yeah, and that's not what you want. That's definitely not what you want.
Looks like he's going to rush the mechanism as well, so I think that's gonna give them a lot of mid-game power when the team fights are gonna really start to shake up.
Some boots getting picked up, and power threads by Invoker and face boots by Feliks and Brewmaster.
Yeah, cool.
And
Now look at this Invoker now. He's starting to catch up. He's actually surpassed the Faceless Void now, even if the Faceless Void got a rotation up on his top lane. So it really shows the strength of this Exort Invoker, that he gets the extra right-click damage, so he can outlast hit his opponents.
that's true. And what I've noticed is, what should I say? I noticed he's not going for Midas, which is pretty good, and yeah, you know, wouldn't expect anything else on this lane. And he's thread switching pretty nice.
Razor is making a big. Oh, look, the static link is doing work. Puts up a great ice wall though. It slows up both of them. Maybe he gets the TP. Oh, it's a big ice path from the Jakiro. What a nice rotation. Are they gonna get him? Yes, he's dead. He's dead.
was a lot of commitment, but it paid off. But there's going to be a clash of bottom lane.
Looks like only level 5, so if he dies now, he's fucking gone. Maybe he can use... I think
Wraith King's going to fall. He's going to fall. Yeah.
Yep.
A nice trade by Estraverse. Oh, they might get Dazzle too.
Feliks wants more. He sends up Skywrath. He up in the tower. Oh god, they don't get the Dazzle.
This can go very bad.
He gets slowed up, Feliks. He doesn't get a kill, and now he falls. I think that was a pretty big overcommitment there.
Yeah, he needed just an extra second on his primal split to get that kill and back up, but that didn't happen, and he got back in his form. Looks like they're gonna. Yeah, it looks like the top tower. It isn't looking too good.
Get the top tower. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's pretty good. Then the Invoker don't have a tower he can stand behind in safety, you know, and farm. So
Exactly.
it's nice to take away a little bit of the map control of the Feedlings.
Let's see here.
Well, ETG is shooting away a little bit. It's a 1,000 gold.
Yeah,
no, it's a 1,500.
Yeah, it's a noticeable difference in the early game, but a lot can happen now. But as we know, Faceless is not to be played with late game.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's getting his farm along with Razors.
Well, I have a little bit of a mid-game prediction here. I think that... Oh, it's a fight on bottom. Let's wait with that. Feliks gets stunned up. He's gonna get the clap off now. I think he's going down though because... Oh no, they don't have any cooldowns yet. Here comes the Wraith King stun though. It's up.
Nice stick charges used, by the way.
Yeah. I wonder if this Dazzle is fine though. No, he gets a stun off on Skywrath. Here comes the clap. No, he's not getting close enough. He gets stunned up by the Wraith King. That's a nice Wraith Fire blast there from
Invoker picking up and getting killed by Faceless. He picks up a kill with the help of Jakiro. No, he got help from Jakiro and a Chronosphere. What it looked, it's on cooldown and Jakiro just TP'd away.
The Chrono was totally worth it then.
Just keep pushing Invoker back. You don't want a good Invoker. As we saw, he's pretty good with his spells and his spell control, but he doesn't seem to be able to get any farm and be able to survive in the lane. That's the problem right now. But it looks like he knows how to use his spells, so that could be a problem later. Oh, USA is getting bashed.
He blows the OD ult. Oh, there goes the Skywrath, which is beautiful. But he gets away though, and here comes the help from Faceless Void. Oh, look at this. It's a great defensive Astral Imprisonment from the OD. He gets to spare himself. Oh, what a nice snipe from Lion there. Oh, these rotations, man, are pretty fucking good. They always come in the last second. Oh, I like it.
And they get a deny on the tower. And
yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. But still, though, that the tower is down is still a pretty good achievement for the ETG. But getting the deny is the best way of, reducing the advantage that enemy can get.
Yeah, Wraith King getting a little bit of beating. He still has his ultimate.
He's hitting out the haste rune here. Maybe Lion's gonna get picked off. No, Brewmaster's gonna get it.
Invoker's in trouble. Yeah, okay. They might not want to go for it. Oh, the Sunstrike.
Sunstrike! Big Sunstrike upon the Lion. Oh, you're getting a little bit overconfident there, this Lion player.
Yeah, you have to forget, you don't have all the HP in the world as a Lion. You don't have that much HP, and you're not that fast either, but you have that great CC and burst damage.
Oh, it's a great stun and a silence. They blow up the Skywrath ulti on the Brewmaster, but he's not dead yet. That means primal split time. Oh yeah. I think that, yeah, this Wraith King is dead, but though, can they kill him for a second time? I think they have to play smart now with the Brewmaster. They send up the Skywrath in the air. It's a big ice wall from Invoker, very good defensive spell right there. Oh. They're gonna get a return kill from this Brewmaster.
They're splitting up now.
Yeah.
But meanwhile in mid and in the jungle, I believe, Faceless has been farming away.
Looks like this Jakiri is gonna die now as well.
It looks like he just wanna create some space.
Oh, what a TP though. Too bad if
that was risky, but he would have paid off quite a lot if he managed to get it. Oh, a nice Chronosphere in mid.
I don't know, do they have the follow-up damage? Did that plasma field just miss from the Razor? They still get the kill though.
It barely missed. It was really close. Yeah, Outworld's gonna get away with ease. But I could have that could have turned a lot worse than it did actually for FGG.
Yep. I think that if
Wraith King is on low HP and he doesn't have his ultimate, so if ETG knows that, they can make something out of it. But
yeah, but still though, you have to think of Brewmaster. He's a very time-based hero. When his primal split is down, they can't really, they don't want to get the fights. There's no insurance. Like
a big smoke.
Is almost
a
like
big smoke win. A big smoke by FTG coming down. Yeah, Feliks is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have his ultimate, so
but he smells something fishy. He's backing up.
No, he's getting caught out.
Well, there's not gonna be any salvation for this boy. He actually did a bit of a juking some spells there, but well, at least when he respawns, he's gonna have his ultimate, so I don't think FTG can push this bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, but it still was a good pickoff, so
yep.
Nonetheless.
And remember now, the Razor has his mechanism now, so it could be quite a disaster for FTG to take this fight on bottom.
Seems like if you look at the graphs. Yep.
Yeah, meanwhile, you think of this, Brewmaster is gonna have his ulti when he responds. Mechanism is just up, and the Wraith King ulti is down. So I think...
Oh, nice side pack.
He tried to escape with the TPs. I don't know why they did that. So Wraith King is dead. Outworld Devourer is getting caught out. It's a missed Skywrath ulti. That's a big misplay. Oh god, this is a disaster. Dazzle's gonna get killed as well. OD goes down. Dazzle is dead. Well, I think maybe they can caught up with the Skywrath. No, it's too fast. It's too fast.
This is ahead, but no, to no avail.
It's that Ice Fraud recently buffed his movement speed, you know? Go to OP.
Oh,
nice. That was a good big plasma field there, almost gets the kill. Now they're gonna get us out. That's what I was talking about. They took a fight.
They won it.
The Brewmaster just being up. The mechanism was up. It was perfect from ETG. But STG, they should have known this. Should have known this. And they shouldn't fight without the Wraith King ult as well.
Yeah, and they're out of position, so they get the tower pretty easily. And what they need, they're so dependent on all 5 being there. And so is ETG, and they, you know, it's kind of hard to.
Ooh, we got a little time to catch our breath here.
And that's what I forgot. I need to lower my in-game volume. That's what someone complained about. Let's see. Someone didn't like that. I completely forgot. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I think this might be a lot better.
Sunstrike level over Nork. I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds pretty funny.
Excuse me. Had to cough a bit. Oh, and if you look at the stats and the last hits, ETG is pulling away on 3 heroes, and it's pretty decent even, but the ETG has a kill.
Feliks gonna get. Oh, he doesn't get the astral range. That's too bad.
But they're still going for it.
The astral range gonna connect. USA was baiting. Oh my god, it's a bait. They have this primal split as well. This might get a
little bit ugly for ETG maybe. Yeah, this might get ugly.
The Sunstrike's going to miss again. Yeah, they're gonna send him up the air, so here comes the stun, and Outworld Devourer is gonna die, no question about it. Dazzle already blew his shallow grave, so...
Yeah, but it took a while to get him.
Oh, nice Nukuria snipe from the Invoker. Did you see that? It was a
Forge Spirit by the Forge Spirit. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty neat actually. That was, and it shows actually how I think he's a really good Invoker player. It shows how much control he has of his spells. As I said, he knew what his Forge Spirits were doing, and his Sunstrike has been pretty on par and very well timed.
I don't know about his Sunstrikes, but
and his ice walls, yeah, his ice walls, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yep. Still though, FGG is behind with maybe, what is it, 7,500. Oh my god, it's a fight on mid. Silenced up. Oh, the Skyref ult isn't enough to kill the
But
lion.
it's a Sunstrike?
Sunstrike. Oh yeah.
That was actually pretty nice. Hmm?
Boom shakalaka. But they put up a sentry so they can see him. The slow is ready for Skyref base. So this, I think this is a dead racer. Oh, this is a really nice ice wall. Even gonna turn around for a little bit of a ras here, but don't go now, USA. It's a very risky play you're doing here, man. The ice wall is up, so they can retreat if they want.
And Aghanim's Scepter has only picked up 6 times in the pro scene since 6.8 patch. What could that be because of? Is it because usually I've seen facelesses that hasn't been as fat as this guy right now?
I just think that it's not a good enough ultimate.
Actually, the increased duration might be returned as a first item, but it's yeah, but he's still pretty. What I think it's not as good as what it could have been, and the Chronosphere could actually work against you if it's too long. And
yeah, well, it's not really the duration you're after with the Aghanims. It's the cooldown decrease, I think, and to have it basically in every fight could be a big usage. I think it's a good as a first item because you can combo it with the Jakiro ult this game, and Razor's Plasmic Field, and Lion can do the long range finger death. Not that, but you know, if it's a
rotation on top, and
it's a gank on mid. Outroad Var is gonna die. They commit 3 ultis for it. Jakiro ult, Faces ult, and everything. Yeah.
Razor's getting caught up, and
yeah, he's got the mech, bro. He's fine.
But he
stole
boxed in.
140 damage.
He got boxed in, but his teammates came in to save him, and the FTG knew they couldn't do anything about it.
I think it was a more interesting play on the mid. They commit 3 ultis and they get the Outward Devourer, so it was pretty good though.
I don't think.
But you know,
they don't.
Back to the Aghanim's first item discussion here. Haven't you seen that video with when they like rush the Aghanims on Faces Void and he ults the enemy team and he starts hitting on them and nothing happens because you don't get any damage from it. That's the main problem. That's why it's only 6 times the first item.
Yeah, and
I think
it's because the facelesses I've seen in pro games, they haven't gotten a lot of farm. They've usually been pretty useless in the beginning of the game. That's what I've seen. I haven't watched a lot, but I've seen like they've been quite a low damage, and the team has to buy a lot of time for them to get back.
What do you think about it this game though?
He's has so many. Oh, I missed the Sunstrike. That was pretty nice. Oh, they have the ward right here, so they knew.
Oh, nice. Well, I didn't see it as well. I was watching Faces Void smacking away the creeps with the hammer.
He got hit at the medium camp while he was farming away. Oh, a smoke, but nothing's gonna come out of it because they're all mid.
Yeah. I think now Invoker is actually level 12 now, so he's starting to become a problem now because he has almost maxed out Exort, and his Chaos Meteor is gonna do a shitload of damage. And FTG is getting a bottom tower now, so I see a pretty good return to this game.
I'm missing Chronosphere.
Far behind.
They missed the Chronosphere. I missed playing by Faceless.
Oh, that's pretty big. Then I don't think they could fight this. Maybe the Brewmaster ult is still very strong though, so I don't think they should risk it. They have a lead and they shouldn't throw.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the Aghanims. The reason I guess why he picked it up, he managed to get it so early. It probably not going to matter in the later game. He's going to get his damage anyways. But if you see like in a normal pub game, when you're going for an Aghanims, you might not get as much farm as these guys are doing because.
Oh, it's a fight! It's a fight!
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big ice path. Pretty nice tornado there to zone out the damage. Oh, Faces gets blown up as well as Lion. Nice.
Big mecha by FGG though.
This Brewmaster ult isn't doing very much. Finally gets a kill, but it's only on the 2 supports. You see, Oh god, now Felix actually gets out. That was a pretty bad trade because they lost a core hero like Faces Void. Oh,
And
in the Astral Imprisonment.
He's going down.
Yeah,
But
the stun is up for Wraith King now as well, so I think he's
FTG
dead.
when they activated their mecha, basically all of them got back to full HP, so that was a very well timed mecha.
Yeah. I think it was a very... I think it was because of they didn't get the stuns off on enough people. ETG.
Oh, Lion isn't looking too good. He's insta-TP'd mid to get saved.
Very good kiting from FTG.
I miss Frog. I'm not sure. I think he was meant to frog Wraith King, but he gets a Forge Spirit instead.
Pretty interesting. The last game we casted, the Wraith King actually went for a Blink Dagger, but well...
He's going for like a carry-ish, very carry...
Yeah. I think it's pretty good this game.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal actually. You don't want to be Lion and finger him as soon as he activates his Blade Mail.
Yep.
And activating the Blade Mail, can you do that in the Chronosphere?
No man, you're stunned.
Yeah, I forgot.
Well, if you have very fast reflexes, you can activate it before. But still, it's not for the Chrono, I think, because even if Faces Void does a Chrono, I don't think he's gonna go for the Wraith King first.
A lot of drawing on the map by 009.
Yep. I think that
looking for an organized push mid by FGG. But
yeah, the cooldowns are all up for ETG, so I think they should be able to defend this.
But they're a little bit... Brewmaster's out of position, but he still has his TP scroll on him.
Yeah, and he's got a Blink Dagger, so he can just TP to the tier 1 tower and blink in straight to the fight. So it's pretty fine. Here comes the opening. It's a big Skywrath ult and a nice Chaos Meteor there.
Indeed.
The Brewmaster ult gets blown, but they don't get anything out of it. This is not good. They're gonna kill the Wraith King, but he's just gonna come back. Meanwhile, a wasted ult from the OD on mid. So that's pretty good. They actually dodged the... Oh, there's a big Chrono. Gets on 2 people. They're gonna kill the Dazzle first because they don't want him to graving up people. He's graving up himself. They did not have enough damage, but he's gonna come back from the Astral and he's dead.
Dire's bottom tower is taking many wounds.
Now it starts to shoot back on the EXP and gold earned for ETG.
Another kill.
And that allows them to take the tier 2 without any problems. They might get top. Top tower is very low HP.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna focus on top now. So there's 2 towers and a 1 team fight, almost a full team wipe.
Yep.
It's a lot of gold.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
It was, I don't think they had very good synergy that fight, FTG. They basically went in
without
at
any
different times.
Yeah, they didn't prioritize
the
targets.
OD ult were blown on a solo Faceless Void, and he backtracked it. So, or he missed it. I didn't see it completely, but still,
Yeah,
it was a waste.
Yeah, I missed it as well. I had a lot to focus on. The map dominance asserted, map control asserted by ETG without any problems because of getting those towers.
They have good wards in jungle, but though we haven't spoken of it yet. But
However,
FTG still have the Roche advantage from being dire.
However, they look like they want to go for it now, and Wraith King's going for an Mjolnir. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And look at this, ETG isn't even pinging the Roche out yet.
Yeah, but they might.
So
They must know.
Don't know.
Yeah. I think USA
They're gonna
smells
check
something.
it now anyway. So.
Yeah, they smell something. They know. They know now. There's no doubt about it.
Imagine. I don't think it's. They're gonna smoke up. Actually, are they trying to sneak the Roche?
I could potentially.
I think this Invoker is gonna bait them. Because he's standing around in ETG's forest.
Yeah, but now it's nighttime, so it might be a lot harder to see.
Oh, no, it's a bait, Look. ETG is going to check the Roche pit and they're gonna come up from behind. Oh, it's a nice Hex.
Nice Hex.
The Skyraf ult. Oh, nice Chrono Field. Gets both of the supports. Neither the Skyraf ult or the Shallow Grave gets used in that fight. Now Wraith King, they got their eyes on him. He's dead for the first time here. Oh, it's a pretty big OD ult actually. Invoker shooting at the supports from the high ground. The Brewmaster ult gets blown. Double kill for USA.
Almost
Looking
a full wipe.
He gets a pretty nice kill there.
A pretty brutal team fight, but
he gets sent up. He's dead. He's dead, man.
yeah, he has no chance if he's really good. Invis. Oh, yeah. No, he made it.
No reveal. No reveal. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't expect that.
0.25% win rate. Wait, that can't be right. You mean 25%? I hope. That's what I'm guessing.
that doesn't seem right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well,
What might that be there because of like is it like too hard to hit the shallow grids in such a high level competitive fast-paced Dota, or is it like he lacks his late game, or what is it because of?
I don't know, man. I think it's
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think it might be due to they pick him only for the Shallow Grave. And I think they should maybe fall back to this minus armor strat that we used to see in like TI1. They always pick like this minus armor hero, like
yeah, and a lot of
the Dazzle and the TA and shit.
And a lot of
they could like instantly blow up hero, but that they don't pick him for the ult, and I think that's a very big part of the hero. So
yeah, and if you get the enemies in it as well, you have an even bigger advantage. And if you have a team that benefits of minus armor and maybe a Desolator on top of that as well, it's pretty devastating to get hit when having no armor and you expect to be pretty tanky, and then you see, oh shit, I have no HP left.
You know, it's like the Shallow Grave is a spell that it doesn't gonna win you, it isn't gonna win you the game, but it
might save a hero.
Yeah, it's a big line out here on Invoker. He's invest up, they have reveals. So yeah, nice. They get a kill on the Invoker. Now Astral's up on the Faceless Void.
But however, Wraith King is farming away on bottom lane while this is all happening.
Yeah, well, that doesn't. I think they couldn't have done anything to save Invoker there. He got zoned out by that Chrono.
TheRedSnow almost falling to the centaur creeps.
But still, they blew like all of the ults except for Brewmasters. ETG, so.
And it looks like Wraith King's gonna continue pushing. But they're going for Roshan.
It's might be a little bit of Rat Dota going on here now, but
however, ETG is going for the Roshan while distracting.
that is so smart. That is no tail so smart. He just put a Mjolnir up on the melee creep, so he gets the farm anyway without being there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, but still nerfed Mjolnir.
Has come to Radiant's
still
bottom
good,
tower.
a little bit
no,
less
they
useful.
only nerfed the cost of it, and he actually bought the whole thing now.
Didn't
So
they nerf the duration as well on it?
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
I don't know, man. But I do know that they buffed the radius on it, so I think it's better now. And that's why they hiked
Yes,
the cost.
you get a better radius, but during a less time, I guess.
I'm not sure about that time change though, but still, never mind.
Oh, Gem picked up a lion, will help a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These supports are getting focused down very easily in the fights by FTG.
However, I've seen Lion has been surviving for quite a while now.
I'm just wondering, maybe they should put the gem on maybe a Faceless or the Brewmaster. But I think if you go into the Primal Split with Brewmaster, that you don't get the gem vision, so it might be a problem.
Yeah, the big problem is though, if you put a gem on Faceless, he's probably not going to have a slot for his TP, and that might cost you the game.
Yeah, well, maybe he can he can get the gem after his Aegis gets burnt out. But
At Radiant's top tower.
they're gonna get the tower on top now, but a lot of TP is gonna commit it.
Yeah,
They
good
actually do the fucking... Nice, they're gonna get the deny. So it's a deny on the tower, and they're gonna kill Wraith King one time.
And the second time, most likely.
Yeah, second time. Oh, it's a big stun, actually. Nice.
Ooh.
That's fucking big, man.
Almost falling to that ulti.
I'm actually quite
Radiant's
surprised that they
middle
didn't
tower is
save
under
any
attack.
stuns for the Wraith King. That was a big play.
I think they got a little bit of hybris, maybe to get him down as fast as possible and get the deny on the tower.
Yep, they didn't have any stuns left. That sucked pretty hard, man.
Regeneration.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Maybe you should have saved the ice path for him for his next life.
Yeah.
It's a low cooldown, but it's not enough. And yeah, but I think it's kind of hindsight. Maybe they were probably too into it and trying to get the deny on the tower.
Yeah, of course,
a
man,
lot
of course, man. The casters always get to see, like, all the mistakes, and we can complain about everything. Yeah, but they still, ETG are ahead with 12,000 experience and 10,000 gold.
Yeah, it's getting snowballing now, so.
Nah, it has been snowballing for a while, but they managed to stumble upon some hiccups.
Yeah, they're getting momentum, but they keep stopping and they continue getting the momentum, even though they might fall short on some places.
Yep.
Like, but though Moku in the Wraith King is getting quite a hefty amount of last hits.
Actually, a sheep stick being picked up by the Invoker, that's pretty big, and
yeah, they could, when dry targeting, like maybe you get a sheep stick on Faceless, potentially wasting his Chronos free. But it's the Brewmaster could be really good to sheep stick as well, so he doesn't get his primal split out.
But all I'm thinking is the late game for this, you know, this Faceless Void is gonna get. I don't think they wanna take it late game FDG, because this Faceless Void is gonna be very strong.
Yeah, Mjolnir picked up, and yeah, he's just getting fatter by every minute, and he still has his AGI, but it's going to be removed soon, right? Like it was like 2 minutes left.
Yeah,
right?
they can just go pick a fight bottom right now.
However, Wraith has his ultimate and he has quite a lot of mobility on top of that with his Blink Dagger. But both of the teams preparing for a team fight. And
they decide to go high ground with the Razor ult.
Against Boku? I don't know, oh, nice Chrono.
No, it's not nice, bro.
Yeah, but it's nice.
He didn't get the dazzle, and it's a defensive Astral. They're gonna send up the Wraith King. I don't think this fight is gonna turn out very good. The Aghanims is up on the Brewmaster, so his ulti is doing very much work on this. They actually get the tower down now. Very good control.
Ooh.
They are actually
Lion
saving.
falling to Skywrath. Spell.
Now Brewmaster is dead. Faceless respawns. He's gonna clean up the dazzle, but he doesn't have enough to clean up the rest. And it's a big loss for ETG. I think, Yakira is gonna die from this as well. Wraith King has his Blink Dagger, he can just blink up.
Nice TP
It's
though.
a big force that, man.
Yeah, that was pretty big. And however, Dire has a lot of
Radiant's
push
top
on the
tower
tier
is
2
under
tower.
attack.
It's another wave coming in. Oh, disconnect. Oh, a good pass. I can go get another drink.
Oh god.
I see. Seems like it's reconnected, but yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yes, indeed.
So, where the hell were we? Okay, they're gonna definitely get a tier 1 out of this. A tier 2? I don't think so.
Maybe.
The Wraith King...
But Faceless Yeah, they have 2 buybacks on ETG, both of them on their course. It's
But
probably
do
not.
they really want to blow them? Blow the buybacks, you know?
Radiant's middle tower
They're gonna
has
lose a
fallen.
really
Nice.
big
Yeah,
momentum.
get
Tend
rid
to
of
your
their position.
wounded, or put Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Ice Path, just buying some time.
Hashtag space created. They don't have any glyph, so yeah. The dead tower, and they're just gonna back up. I like this from FDG. Not overcommitting, not overstaying their welcome. Good.
Yeah, and the XP and gold now starting to declining for ETG. And as you see, Invoker and the Wraith King is getting pretty fat. Have a lot of farm, and Invoker just picking up some ancients.
Yeah. The XP actually has dipped down from 12,000 like 10 minutes ago. No, not 5 minutes ago. It was 12,000 for ETG plus, but now it's only
If you
6,000.
look at the warns now, they have sort of map control. They have in their mid lane where they have mostly focused, but it's getting picked down now because RedSnow has the gem.
I think they are FTGs in a pretty good position because they have the Roche advantage, and they managed to score back the map control now. So the Roche advantage is actually a thing.
Farming away in the jungle with his Forge Spirits.
Yep.
Pretty smart. While waiting in the idle, just having something to do.
So smart.
Yeah, he's a genius.
No, but I think FTG is in a pretty good position after that last fight.
Yeah, they put
But still, though.
they've put themselves back in the game after the last 2 fights, is what I believe.
Yep. But I don't think they're winning it yet. They're not on the verge of winning it.
Yeah, because if HG gets a good team fight now, they can just commit and push the racks down easily. Maybe get another tier 3 because they're missing a little bit of HP on the bottom lane. And then, because it's missing a tower around the mid. They probably might not have a big issue, and it's getting quite late in the game, and people are getting level up. So it's gonna take a while for them to get back in the game. But however, a lot of them do have buybacks at the moment. No, only Invoker and Dazzle in the Dire at the moment. So.
But imagine this. Imagine FTG trying to go push high ground. It's gonna be disastrous versus the Brewmaster and the Faces Void.
Yeah, getting Ice Path and stunned.
It's gonna be a disaster. So I think if FTG is going to win this game, it's gonna be of like a comeback or a throw from ETG.
Yeah, a pick off and maybe going out of position. They get a good team fight in their own jungle or their own high ground.
But that's kind of like we saw last fight. The Faces Void got a little bit nervous, I think. He threw out the ulti on a single Invoker while they had Grave and defensive Astral, so the Chronosphere didn't do anything.
Yeah, but I think they were pretty close to each other, but as soon as he went up, they backed up and saw him.
Double ult from Razor. He's looking to take down the barracks now.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Please be a good Faces Void ult. I think he's gonna hold it. Just stay away, have a respect.
Oh, BKB activated.
Wraith King fucking two-shot the Lion. It's a better Chronosphere this time. The Invoker's going down very quick. The Invoker is dead. He's got the buyback. He disconnects. Oh my god, that's a bad time for being disconnected, Invoker. You have the buyback. Oh my god.
Are you going to do
Oh,
something
the Wraith King at least disconnects. He buybacks. Looks like the fight is going the way of ETG so far. It was a pretty good Chronosphere. The Primal Spit did his job. They get the racks and they're gonna back off. I like this.
Are we going to see a buyback from Invoker maybe? Nah, I think that's not necessary.
Man, I think that fight could have gone way differently if Invoker didn't DC there and actually could have bought back.
Yeah, and maybe like meatball them and shove them away.
Oh, that is so unfortunate actually.
And Razor's gonna fall.
Yep. But he's got buyback, and I don't think FTG is in a position to push anything now.
Yeah, both teams missing quite a lot of wards, except for ETG only having one bottom lane ward and the top. But is it what you want now, having room wards instead of like maybe some wards in the jungle or a place more important? It's pretty easy to miss Roshan with the point where they place.
Yeah, they actually have the space to kill Roshan now with the Razor being dead and Brewmaster ult is down and things. So I think it's cool. One thing I wanted to point out is that this fight, compared to the disastrous fights for ETG last time, is like the faces. The fight before this, when they lost it so hard, was the faces just went in and did ulti on the first target he saw. This time he waited for it. He actually bought space by waiting for the Chronos, because the enemy was respecting the Chronosphere so much. So if FTG is gonna smoke up and move down to
it's kind of like having a black hole. It's very situational, and it's like a hit or miss. Easier to hit the Chronosphere though, right? You know.
Especially when he doesn't need a blink, he can just time walk in.
It's just
pinging up the face. They want to kill him, but he knows he's gonna get the fuck out.
He knows how far he can push.
Yep.
Still in the ages on Wraith King. Wonder what I think they might want to push top with it. Maybe push back the lane, or you're just gonna go straight into mid for the Rex.
Yeah. So who's got the highest net worth in this game? It's the Razor, and shortly followed by the Wraith King.
It's pretty even actually.
Yeah. Wraith King is pretty big. Oh, it's a jump in from the Wraith King. The Blade Mail is gonna zone out their entire team. Oh my god. It's a pretty good chrono. None of the supports are here, so I think the Invoker is gonna go down.
Yeah, Primal Split.
Faces Void gets silenced up. He might go down now. He's gonna backtrack a few spells. Here, he gets blown up by the OD ult. Invoker instantly buys back. Jakiro is gonna get smacked down by the Wraith King. Meanwhile, Razor getting shut down by the OD. Nice.
But you have to remember, Wraith King has 2 respawns.
Brewmaster ults runs out, and I think, Brewmaster is gone. Jakiro is gonna TP himself out.
You see that? A misplay by Lion. A really big misplay by Lion. I think he blinked back into the fight, and he got himself killed by that.
Yeah, I think he thought he could do something to save his cause. Just sacrifice his petty support life.
It happens a lot, especially when we play sometimes.
Yeah, but I think in that fight it wasn't very many like misplays from ETG. It was just a pure outplay from the FTG.
Yeah, he got zoned up by Wraith King with his Blade Mail in BKB. They had no chance. They couldn't do any damage on him.
Yep,
and
that
he respawned 2 times, so that's pretty sick.
Yeah, and his ult is up again, so they're up for a defense. And actually, the Brewmaster ult now is down for ETG, so I think it's Rax. Though we have a Chrono and a Macro Pyre coming up.
And buybacks as well. So.
Yeah, here comes the buyback. But what can a Brewmaster do? He doesn't have his ulti yet. I guess FTG doesn't know that, so they're backing up.
He does have it, but it's just on a short cooldown. So. I think it's a smart move by backing up by FTG. That could have gone a whole lot differently if they wanted their X.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. They actually force out the Brewmaster buyback, so I guess it's pretty fine. It's pretty good.
Tier 3 and buyback, a lot of gold, gun down.
Yeah, actually we're back. Look at the net worth
it's almost zero. It's almost zero now. Basically nothing. That's a couple of thousand. It changes quite a lot if you start farming and winning a team fight.
Yeah, basically we are witnessing a comeback here from FTG.
So see, Invoker struggled a lot in the beginning, but he's on par with kills and teamfight participation.
He actually did pretty well in the mid game. Especially those times he survived with the Ghost Walk, because the enemy didn't have the reveal necessary to kill him. So
now a lot of pinging going on in the Radiant jungle.
Yep.
It seems they're taking over the jungle right now, and
look at this. ETG is holding a lockdown.
Yeah, holding a defensive position.
I just don't think that they can do anything else than play defensive right now. They are being forced back to their base. And I think this could go pretty good because FTG is basically starving them from the experience and gold.
Oh
Meanwhile,
yeah, I
FTG
have
can
a
just
I have a
farm
shout
up.
out. I have a shout out to Boned, that is apparently the best player in the Baltic. And the more you know.
Okay, nice.
Hmm?
Shout out to Bone. Is it Bone 7?
No, it's boned, like you say a boner, but you say boned as in owned, and boner, boned.
Oh, okay. It's a pretty smart name, man. Note would have been proud.
Big Daddy would have been crying.
Oh yes.
Let's see. No, well, pinging on Feliks here. I'm not sure they backed up quite a lot. What happened there? ETG gaining some courage to move out, but they seem to move back again. This Rift King is really scary now, and Shivas is being picked up by Moku, but an Aghanims on
Boned is a douchebag from Latvia. Wow.
Illusion.
Well,
the more you know. Oh,
our
Rift
stats
King.
man is he's not happy with us shout-outing this bone. It's a
Wraith King's falling?
pretty big chronosphere going out. It actually hits the Wraith King this time. But what does that accomplish? He's just gonna come back. But he's zoned out from his team now, so he's actually gonna blow up instantly.
Oh, this is
but he
in
has
favor.
buyback.
This is in favor of EGG now. Even though a big ulti by
It's a primal split usage. Yeah. OG is dead. All three of the killed heroes from FTG has buyback though.
This
so.
could very well be a GG though, or just a 3 force.
Or they just buy back and come back, man. I don't know. I'm not sure about this because ETG has.
Or maybe a
They
force
have
buyback.
they have all their ults on
Dire
cooldown.
structures are fortified.
Keep that in mind. And
Super,
if the
super
enemy buy back, they
fortified.
can caught them by catch
you
them by
can't
zero.
even
Yeah,
imagine.
ETG is pretty damaged. So. Ooh, Faceless is getting a little bit of
Doing,
beating.
doing some work here, this Invoker.
Oh,
They're not
you
gonna
see the
kill him.
buybacks, and now ETG is gonna back up, and knowing they have gain on that,
Yep.
they want a team
Yep,
fight
nice,
before
nice,
buybacks.
nice. They just force out the buybacks and get back. Oh. Well,
Oh, a courier with a heart for USA. It's not going to be pleasant, along with signing with his BKB and his refresher when it's up again.
well. I guess it's nice that they get to force out the buybacks and all, but they didn't get anything out of that. And FTG is still capable of taking a fight.
Okay,
so-
let's see when Roshan is respawning. The clock is almost on the bonus, the minimum time. Let's see
Actually,
how long it is. It will all, yeah, in 2 minutes. Okay.
with the map control FTG have, I think they have an uncontested Roche coming up. And that Roche, the Aegis and the Shees, is gonna make a huge difference. I'm actually very fearful for ETG now. They're gonna have to play. They're gonna have to play at their best.
However, it's 2 minutes to go. So are they going to wait for 2 whole minutes just to wait for Roshan to respawn, or might ETG do something about it?
Yep, I think they're gonna do it, man.
Since Razor has his heart, and Skyra is spending some time as well with Outworld, trying to wait for the Roshan to respawn, but it's still quite a while to go. And being caught out while waiting for Roshan is not a good thing. Yeah, they're backing up now. They see the push coming, and I think they're gonna check them themselves. But it's only like a minute to go for Roshan. It's almost up, so yeah, 50 seconds.
I'm just waiting for a big chrono, like a 4-man chrono, a 3-man chrono, into the Aghanims Macropire.
This is like
That's what I'm waiting for.
this is like a non-violent tug of war. They're basically pulling each other front and back on each other's bases, and going back and forth. It's playing a game of I don't know, ballet.
It's like a stalemate, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is. 20 seconds, but they both checked Roshan, and FTG spent a lot of time checking it, and now they're on top. So deciding here. I think this might be the game decider. I'm going to look at the buyback status. No one has buyback. Absolutely no one has
Double ulti
buyback.
gets blown out from the Racer.
And no one has buyback. So, this is going to be a really important fight.
It's a pretty good chrono this fast. He's gonna kill the Wraith King and he's coming back, so.
However, he's
they're gonna blow him up, nice. And Wraith King doesn't have buyback. I think it's GG now. Without the Wraith King, they don't have enough damage. It's a pretty good ult from OD, but Faceless actually gets away from that. The Brewmaster is doing very good work. He's sending up the Outward Devourer in the air. So he can't do anything.
Oh, he's still surviving though. He's still going down now though.
Yeah, but the Racer is doing so much work, man. Look at this. The top racks are gone. Brewmaster is out now, so he can start helping the Racer cleaning.
They basically, it's GG.
GG.
Well played by both teams, really showing high level play.
Yeah, man, they were fucking very even, this team. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this series.
Dire's middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for certain.
What, a best of 2? I think he means best of 3, by the way. Yeah. So.
No, but they can can become.
Oh, best of 2.
Yeah, it's a best of 2. They can play even, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh. I suppose that's